All right, my algebras, I'm so sorry to miss the first day of school with you today, but I have an appointment that I cannot not take care of. So I tried to do it before, but just the only time I could do it. So I'm bummed that I'm not there with you. I really, really would much rather be with you. But here we go. So you'll notice that every class has a new seating chart, and it's by number. So this is 1B is my little example here for you guys. And so everybody has a little number. You're going to go to your number that's written on the desk. And then you're going to put your phone in the same number in the daycare, right? Put it in the daycare, please, to start our New Year's off right. And don't worry about where you're sitting, because you're going to get up to move and be with who you want to in just a little bit, all right? After you've found your new desk and you've put your phone into the daycare where the phone should be, then you please remember to pick up the 2 handouts. If you don't have a pencil, make sure you get a pencil out of the container and also get a ruler. So you want to make sure you have a pencil and a ruler, right, for today. Okay, well, Happy New Year. A lot of things that we like to do in our New Year's is kind of evaluate what happened before we got to this place so that we can have our new year be a better year. So we're going to take a look at this one side of your handout. Mine is blue, both of yours are white, but this one says Happy New Year, check in. Go ahead and write down on number 1 the things that are good in your life. What's good? What is something you're like, hey, this is something I'm really grateful that this is a good thing. It could be something you got for Christmas. It could be friends you've made this year. It could be anything good that's going on in your life. Then number 2, what's something hard? Notice that I didn't put something that's bad, because hard things are not bad things. They're just opportunities to grow and to trust the Lord even more. But so what's hard? Everybody has something hard going on in your life. Maybe it's your carpool. I don't know. Maybe it's your sibling or something that you're working through. Whatever. What's hard in your life? And then what is a goal, or what help do you need for this year? Okay. It could be my class. None of these things have to be math related. They could just be stuff that you want to work on. Maybe you want to work on your jump shot. Maybe you want to work on your backstroke. I don't know. Put it down. Love to hear about your life. I'm the only one that's going to read these. Okay? Okay, so number 4, what's a good habit in your life? What's something you want to continue? You learned this last year and you want to make sure you don't forget to keep that up. Like maybe it's drinking enough water every day. I'm not sure. But what is something good in your life you want to continue? And then what's a bad habit, right? A bad habit does not mean you are a bad person. It's just a habit that you want to get rid of. It's not worthy of your goodness. So we want to make sure that we're changing those habits. Right? Those habits you might need to work on. Maybe it's less video gaming. Maybe it's choosing other language to actually describe your feelings rather than using the lower level vocabulary ones that everybody uses that we know we don't like to hear on campus. What is it for you? And what's a good habit that you want to add to your routine? Right? What's a good habit? Maybe you watched how your friends studied for their tests and you're like, hey, I want to pick up that habit of doing the study guide like that next time. Whatever the good habit is. Or maybe it's, hey, I like how my friend always comes to practice early and they always make sure they have a healthy snack so they end up having enough energy. Whatever it is. Okay, I'm going to go back up here. The backside of that little New Year's is this review in fractions. And in a second, you're going to have 30 minutes to complete this, right? You'll have 30 minutes to complete this fun thing with somebody around the room, and then you'll turn it in. Whether you're done or not, you will turn it in after 30 minutes. So try to get the most you can. I'm going to go through a couple of these problems, like on number 1. Number 1 says that we have a let me just erase these real quick. I am looking for a common denominator, right? A common denominator. So I have 2 and 5. My common denominator, I'm going to multiply those two to get 10. and that's going to be my common denominator. So if I multiply that to get 10, then I have to multiply this by 5, so I have to do that to the top, this by 2, so I multiply the top by 2. So when I multiply that, I get 5n, multiply here, I get 2n, and then I combine my like terms. 5n and 2n are 7n. And I find that over on my list over here, 7 n over 10. And so lowercase k is uppercase e down below here. All right, let's look at another one. So on number 3, sorry, I'm erasing these because I recorded this video once, but it did not save, so that's frustrating. But here we go. Anything that's a subtraction problem, I need to have it not be a subtraction problem. I'm going to change it to an addition problem. And we did this in chapter 1 when we were adding and subtracting integers. So anytime I'm subtracting, I always change it to addition. Then I change the sign behind it. And on these, we always change the numerator because we don't want to have a negative denominator. And we know already after graphing that you can apply this negative to either the top or bottom. And in this case with fractions, always to the top, right? Then we can get a common denominator, which in this case will be 28. And I multiply this side by 7, and so I multiply the top by 7. So I get negative 21n plus, multiply this by 4 and this by 4, negative 8n. And I combine those like terms and I get negative 29n over 28, which is my solution right down here. And I see lowercase e is uppercase a. Whoop. All right, so let's go through and check all the negatives on here. You can see on this paper, I'm just going to zoom out. So when you get to any of those negatives, make sure you have changed the negative correctly. Can you pause on that for a sec? All right, let's go ahead and look at number 4's example. Number 4's example shows that we get 12 as our common denominator, right? 12 is our common denominator. So we multiply this side by 3, and then we have 5n and 3n, giving us 8n over 12. But this is not found on any of our answer keys. So we kind of think, did I do it wrong? No, I didn't. I just need to simplify my fraction. So 8n is the same thing as 4 times 2n. And then 12 is the same thing as 3 times 4. And so I know I can divide off the 4. When I do that, I end up with 2n over 3, a simplified fraction, which is right here. All right, one more sample on here, number 10. On number 10, our denominators are just letters, and that's okay because we can multiply them together like we did on number 1, where I had 2 and 5 and I made it 10. This is just A and B, so I make it AB. And keep in mind that on this one, like if I write it, AB is the same thing as BA, just like 2 times 5 is the same thing as 5 times 2, right? All right. So on this side, we have to multiply the top and bottom by B, and on this side by A. So I end up with 15B plus 2A all over AB. All right, you guys, again, you have 30 minutes to complete this section. 30 minutes to complete this section, and then turn this paper in. All right, turn this paper in.